Caroline. Welcome, everybody. My name is Jennifer Herman. I am the Executive Director of the Olympia Symphony, and I am so very, very, very pleased that you are joining us for this very special concert this afternoon. Please take a moment and notice where the exits are near you. And also, please silence your cell phones. We do welcome you to take some very quick photos, non-flash if you must, but with courtesy to those around you. And if you do take any photos in between pieces or in the lobby, please ask that you tag us on social media so that everybody can see the awesome thing that you did, be jealous of what you did, and then join you next time. And I hope you had a chance to grab a program on your way in. In that program, you'll find a wealth of wonderful information about Alexandra Arrieche, about Ricardo Morales, our guest artist, program notes about the music you're about to hear, but also you will see logos of funders and supporters and partners who help make our work possible. So I would really love if you could take a look at that and show your appreciation to all of those funders with your applause now and as you go out into the community. You will also see that we are having our second Young Artists competition on March 2nd, and also we are having a very fun gala on March 4th. So your job is to put that in your calendar. You will not want to miss our gala. It's going to be at the Hands-On Children's Museum. We're really switching it up, and we're going to have a lot of fun together. So we need to fundraise for all the wonderful things we do, and we need your help with that. So May 4th on your calendar. Also, we are starting a new thing with having early bird tickets for our next concert. So starting today and running for 1 week, tickets to our next concert, which is featuring Kristen Lee of Emerald City Music, soloing on violin with us. Those tickets are at a discount from today and for a week. So get those tickets early because that's going to be a very, very popular show. Okay, also in your program, you'll see a list of our wonderful musicians. None of this would happen without these incredible people that are standing behind me. They are literally the heartbeat of this organization. So to show your appreciation for them, my dream has always been to see every single musician sponsored. You will see in your program names underneath the musicians of people who have sponsored them. If you are interested in sponsorship, we are midway through our season, which means that we still have half a year of sponsorship. You can get in at half the price for the second half of this season and then commit to the next year. For as little as $72 a month would be a sponsorship that you could grab a hold of to take you through the end of this season. If you are interested in sponsorship, I would encourage you today to stay for our Q&A that will happen, actually everybody, stay for the Q&A that happens here on this floor level, where we'll have an opportunity to interact with Alexandra and Ricardo. And after that, we will be going into the black box. Our musicians will be there, and we'll have a bit of a time that you can mingle and you can meet your future musician that you intend to sponsor. So please join us there if you're interested, and I would be happy to make a match. That would make me very happy if I could do that. Okay, so you are in for a treat today. I have had the honor and privilege of spending some time with Ricardo Morales over the past couple of days. He comes to us from Philadelphia, and he is the principal clarinet there and one of the most sought-after clarinetists in the world, and we are just so honored and lucky to have him here. He is kind and warm and generous, and he provided instruction for 5 local youth clarinet students yesterday in a no-cost masterclass and gave them an experience they will never forget. He is just so... This concerto that he's going to perform has only been performed 2 other times. So this is time number 3, only by him. Nobody else has played it. This concerto was written for him. This is the first time it's being played on the West Coast. And, I said I've spent some time with him, and he's just a wonderful human being. And this concerto, if you look in your program, the names of the movements are I'm sorry, where was it? Unruly, tender, and defiant. So I'm really curious. I would like to get to know him more and learn those unruly and defiant characteristics, because I certainly did not experience that in the past couple of days with him. So before we get started, I just want to share a little bit. I was having a meeting with a colleague who works at Harlequin this week, and we were meeting with Alexandra and myself, and he reminded us that he learned and he lives by this premise that art has two functions in our lives: to understand ourselves better and understand others better. Two very basic and simple things that art can create for us. And through music and through our experience here today, I just locked eyes with the person who said that. He is here. I hope that through your experience here today, those two things can be achieved for yourself, for you to understand, respect, love yourself a little more, and to understand, respect, and love others a little bit more, and to experience the beauty that will result when those two magnificent things happen. Thank you for being here. My hope is for that for you and for myself today, and let's get to it.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm still putting my heart rate down after our first half. I just would like to talk a little bit about this concert, this experience that you guys are having. This concert is about people who inspired us. It's about being inspired by people that we love and inspire us to be a better version of ourselves. When I contacted Ricardo and invited him to come here, he suggested this piece. And you guys know that I always like to have a DNA, right, on my programs. And so I contacted the composer and I asked, like, so what is the inspiration? And he said the inspiration was Ricardo. And oh, yes. And it's very romantic indeed. And then speaking of romanticism, like that's about the next piece that we are gonna listen to. Symphonie Fantastique by HECTOR BERLIOZ. I want to know who never fell madly in love that is here today. We all have done that. We all have been there, right? Yeah, I'm guilty myself. And this is what this piece is about. Berlioz was inspired. He fell in love with this actress, and he felt madly in love. And you know what? People, they write love letters, and Berlioz decided to write a symphony. Not only a symphony, but the largest orchestra ever on stage at that time. Look at that, we have 4 bassoons. Bassoons, can we show you guys? Bassoon, yeah, they are rocking today. We have 2 tubas there, fantastic. 2 harps, and counting. So he was not only wanted to write a big symphony, he wanted to write a love letter to her. And this story behind is the dreams and nightmares that he has with her. And the first, because of course she's not interested, so you know. And so the first movement you're gonna hear him falling in love. And the tune is gonna be here around the strings. You're gonna hear heartbeats here in the cellos and basses. And the second movement, he dreams that they were in a ball. They're dancing, they're waltzing. And I know we didn't practice that, but is it possible to play the tune, the clarinet? Yes. I just put Ashley on the spot, sorry. That's it. So, thank you so much. So this tune is gonna be towards the entire symphony. So you're gonna hear in the second movement. In the third movement, he kind of like deconstruct this tune, and now he's in the nature. He's there in the pastures, and then he hears something, and then she answers in the background. The other thing that he did was putting instruments behind the stage, so it sounds far away. So he was also the first, not really the first, because people in the Middle Ages, they were doing that with choir and brass. But he's doing that as well. He's doing this theatrical moment in the symphony. The fourth movement, in the other hand, he started having nightmares. And he had this dream that she's dead, and he was being accused to kill her. But in the end, she's kind of like, oh yeah, I know, don't worry. But in the end, she comes back and said, no, I'm not. But then it's too late. And then the last movement is he starts seeing witches, and there is like a big mass, and anyway, it's Fantastique. Enjoy Symphonie Fantastique by HECTOR BERLIOZ. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we are ready to get started. So this Q&A will last 20 minutes, and I'm going to be the meanie that's watching the time, and we'll cut the questions off. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to hop down onto the floor. If you have a question, raise your hand. I will jog over to you and give you the microphone, and you can ask your question.
Oh, she's brave. Oh my God. Oh my God, she's brave.
Don't keep. Oh.
I did jump. I'm not, yeah.
He's strong. I'm brave.
It's more of a statement. People don't realize that Berlioz wrote that only 3 years after Beethoven died.
Oh, yeah.
It's a major accomplishment for orchestration, I think. Yeah, amazing. Incredible. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, he was ahead of his time for sure. Yeah, he was definitely ahead of his time. Oh yeah, it's a marathon.
Oh.
How old were you when you started playing clarinet?
Hi, I started playing clarinet when I was 11 years old.
Me too.
Yes, you did? Excellent. Well, you're on your way then. That's good. Best of luck then. This is great.
So do you play the oboe clarinets? How do we pronounce that? And when did you choose that one? What kind of clarinet do you have? Does it begin with a U?
Oh, yes, it's an Urbel. Yes, it's a
Urbel.
German clarinet, yes.
Have you always played that? Do you want to tell us why you chose that?
I have been very lucky to play different instruments throughout my career, and this particular instrument is one that I really like. I had an opportunity also to work with the company in its design, so we had a nice collaboration. So it's a new toy that I love to play.
Hi, Ricardo. I'm Diego from the master class yesterday. Thank you so much for working with me.
Oh, bravo,
and
bravo.
I'll definitely work on my scales.
Great.
But I just want to ask what kind of reeds you use. I'm kind of a nerd about that kind of accessory stuff and how you prepare them, especially.
I use, what do you mean, brand or just a material? I use a regular cane.
Okay. I was saying like brand, maybe.
Oh yes, this one is one particular reed that I designed, but it's made in Austria by Pilgerstoffer. So it's a new little, again, a new little toy.
Okay. Yeah. And could you tell me more about some of the process you go through in like breaking in your reeds?
So there's I usually it takes about I usually take about 3 to 4 days to prepare. When you get a new cane reed, because of the process that the cane is cut and then it has to sit for about a year for it to naturally dry and then be cut into tubes, etc. It takes about 3.5 years to 4 years before you get a piece of cane to play it. So when you wet it, the material is waking up again, so you have to let it just settle in once it gets the humidity again. So I wet it and let it sit around for about 8 hours before I touch it because it's just always acting a little crazy. So then after that you get to try and then you organize the ones that are a little too hard on one side, the ones that are just right, etc. So it's it requires a lot of. I become very religious. There's a lot of prayer. Oh, please work. It's like.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm also a student from yesterday's master class.
Hi.
I would like to know, since the wood you use is also a mopane for the clarinet, right?
Yes.
I would like to know how to take care of it, since this is my first time.
That one is basically you do the same thing as with the regular granadilla, but just a little bit more gingerly. So you have to swab it and make sure that after you play it, you dry out all the sockets and make sure that there's no water sitting around. And you just treat it with the same kind of fun love that you treat the other ones. So, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions for either one of them?
Hi, I was wondering, were you previously playing on a French system clarinet before you switched to a German system?
Oh, this particular clarinet is a French system. It's just made in Germany.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ah, thank you.
Yes.
Alex, did you have any particular challenges with this very full group of musicians for this last part?
Hold on, what is the question?
Did you have any particular challenges having this many musicians to on the
No,
stage?
I think that it's so much fun to have so many, bigger the party, bigger the party, like it's, but I think that the only logistics, the only thing is the logistics in order to, because it's not every movement, as you noticed, it's not every movement that contain, for instance, the two harps or the entire brass section. So the logistics of how to rehearse in order of the musicians to not get tired and to use the best of the time that we have in our hands. I think that that's the biggest challenge, is to the logistic. It's nothing to deal with artistic, but logistics there.
Thank you so much for sharing this wonderful afternoon of music with us. I'm curious to hear, because the whole idea was about the muse. So we have a living muse right here on the stage. Did you have a process with the composer? Did you work together, or how was that?
Yes. Well, first of all, my advantage was that I got to hear. I was playing a concert where his music was being performed also, so I was very lucky to hear his musical voice, and I was very impressed and attracted with the way that his harmonies and how he wrote for woodwinds, etc. And so he was there, and we hit it off right away. We just became like really good friends. It was like a long lost friend. So it was really fantastic, and so. The process for how to write for the instrument, we discussed music, which kinds of pieces we like, and which kinds of operas we have played, and what are the things that are our favorite things, and some of them are least favorite, which is like maybe one piece. But it was just a really wonderful experience to be able to share ideas about that. Then at the end, I actually asked him to feel free to write whatever he wished. I was telling him that my job is to try to recreate his musical idea to the best of my ability, and just to try to do the best I could with it. And if there was something that we needed to discuss, if it's a little out of a particular kind of range, etc., we would discuss it as it came. But as it happened, he knows how to write very well. His wife is actually a clarinet player also, so he already understood more or less the logistics of writing for clarinet. So it became very easy. So I was very lucky to be able to have a very nice collaboration with Jacob.
Can I just share some things? There are lots of... Don't worry, I'm not going to put you in trouble. It's fine. No, there are lots of Easter eggs, you call Easter eggs. There's lots of Easter eggs around the piece, You hear a little bit of a hint of Brahms or Madame Butterfly as well, right? Yes. So there are like some hints here and there, and I'm assuming there's more even.
Oh, yes. Yes, for sure. I mean, some of the discussions that we had were especially one of the only requirement I asked is, I've been doing long tones for about 20 years, so try to take advantage of that. so that then to write, I basically requested a nice low movement that had beautiful expressive capabilities for the clarinet, and we talked about some of our favorite music that is expressive. We talked about Ravel and how we both love the Mother Goose Suite, etc. And so that was one that I always I'm a cheesy kind of guy. So then I always, like the Enchanted Garden, I always cry. It's like so beautiful, and it's very dangerous to play because it's very delicate. So I have to, when we play that piece, I have to be very stern with myself. Okay, now here comes, keep counting. Oh, embouchure here, this way. Because otherwise, if I start listening to everything, I get all weepy because it's such tender music and it's very beautiful. So there are some little harmonies that reflect, and they are little wink winks to Ravel in there. And of course, there's because of my experience playing in the Metropolitan Opera, and he loves opera. We actually both love Madama Butterfly very much, and we go in long discussions about the harmonic writing, also the political and on PC kind of ideas of Madama Butterfly that are surprising by today's standards, are a little bit not too kosher, but we just had a lot of interaction about the kinds of music that we like. So there's also a little throwback to Brahms' Symphony No. 4. Actually, I'll just say it. Okay, so this one is a little... So interestingly enough, this one came out as one of the pieces that we both had like a little bone to pick, which is sort of it's very unprecedented because Brahms, everybody loves it. We all love it, and it's a great piece. And I find that his Fourth Symphony is great to listen to. Right? But it's not so fun to actually play because it's like, because of the way that it's written, there's a lot of counterpoint and it's extremely busy, and you're supposed to play many things in the logistical parts that are supposed to be soft, but there's like everybody else is playing counterpoint, so it's very loud. So you have to sound soft even though you're playing loud. So there are some of those logistical things that are somewhat frustrating. So I'm like, well, we're talking about Brahms. I like it, but this particular piece, and funny enough for him, he had an experience where in graduate school he had to write a paper, and he had to write about Brahms and his Fourth Symphony, and I guess he went off the deep end and he got failed in his paper. So we both, whenever we think of Brahms 4, there's a little cold spot in our stomachs. So he wrote he addressed some of the things that he believed in the harmony that would be very nice. And then he wrote for me while there's those little Easter eggs, then in a register that is actually easier to project. So you can hear some of the throwback to the symphony, but I'm in a register that I don't have to struggle so much to project. So it was a very nice little gift.
Sure. Alexandra, I know that you're from Brazil, and I was curious, it has a very strong musical heritage, and I was curious how that influences and inspires your work. Kind of like, does it serve as a muse for you, or how do you integrate it in your work here?
I think the fact that Brazil has such a strong, we are like, Brazilian music, especially when you go to the 70s and 60s, like Bossa Nova, is so strong and so in our blood that I think that that's what saved me as a musician. And I'm saying that particularly because we talk a lot about music education, and this is something that we don't have in our country. So I think that the fact that my family was so musical and they love music so much was what made me succeed as a professional musician. So, just saying. Keep the musicals on schools, guys, just saying.
I have another question, but it's not musical. Could you both tell us about your shoes?
We were all wondering. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
It's not about me.
It's always about you. It's always about you,
it's
Maestro.
about you.
I was like,
Yes. Well, well, I figure I like to think of it just a little bling, just in case,
I love it. Everybody's in love with it.
I had a question about the offstage musicians, the clarinet, and then the chimes. Do they have camera back there, or did they just wing it?
Yeah, shall I answer that?
That's what this is about, isn't it?
No, but then we can make an entire like project, you know, like win a backstage tour whenever we have. No, we do have a camera. In fact, it's there, it's still there, it's still there. And sometimes when you don't have a camera, like sometimes you can see, like, I think that the door was a little bit open, at least in the rehearsal we left a little bit open that they can actually look at me. But in this case we didn't need it because we have a wonderful crew here to take care of everything. Thank you. And then they have a monitor there with the stand and light and everything.
Okay, yeah, project and I'll go run over here.
Well,
I'll repeat the question. I'm sorry if anyone couldn't hear it. What do you love about Olympia? What did you learn about our town?
Well, first of all, what's not to love? That's a better question. I had the most wonderful time. The town is beautiful. It's lovely. I loved collaborating with Alex, and then the orchestra was so warm and so great. It was just such a dream come true. It was a wonderful experience to be here, and I just loved it. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Anytime.
Yes.
Anytime. You know, it's going to be the first of many.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'm wondering what your favorite pieces are to play in orchestra as principal clarinet.
Well, he just said a least favorite.
Well, yeah, you know, okay. Actually, it actually varies per season and how things go. But there are some pieces that are always fun to play. Music by Ravel is always great. It's very challenging. You know, Daphnis and Chloe, and of course that Mother Goose Suite is really beautiful. And there's very colorful composers like Rimsky-Korsakov, of course, Capriccio Spagnolo is very busy and fun, and also Scheherazade. And actually, I love playing Beethoven symphonies. It's a very humbling experience. You're always you have to. Keep humble and just, it's not over until the last measure, so you have to be on your toes. So it's always very challenging and rewarding.
I'm wondering, for a performance like this, how much time do you two have to work together? And does it always feel like enough, or is it never enough, or how does that work?
That's a very good question. It's never enough. In the same time, working with Ricardo, it feels like I've known him forever, you know, so it's, we bonded so much, so it's really, yeah, but it's always like, you know, we always like, I wish we had more time, I wish we have one more concert or 3 more concerts, because it grows, you just see the music growing, and there are some things that happen and then it just evolves. So, yeah, we always wish that have more time, especially with you.
Thank you.
Oh, how much time we did? Really, you want to talk about?
Well, we had the rehearsal yesterday and then today. So we had 2 rehearsals. No, but the thing is that La Maestra, she had the orchestra really well prepared, so it was, you know, just we hit the ground running, so it felt really tight, and we had a very nice collaboration, and we were really in the same page, so it was not like having to recreate. It was really just a joy to just be able to put it all together, so it went by very fast.
Yes. Yeah, we had a call before, that we programmed a call to go through the piece and talk about the piece, and we talked about everything. We just were talking like as humans and, you know, as friends, and we talked a little bit about the inspiration.
So I have a question for you about this sort of thing. How much time does the orchestra get with you before you do a performance like this, which was magnificent, by the way?
Well, they are amazing musicians, that's for sure. It's usually 5 rehearsals, 4 to 5 rehearsals. Sometimes, depending on the repertoire, if something that they are used to play, or if there is a shorter period, like a shorter program, because this one is really long, like Symphonie Fantastique is about an hour. So then we do, like if it's shorter, then we do maybe 3 or 2, but usually 5 to 4 to 5.
If I could expand on that just for this particular concert, the first rehearsal was last Wednesday, not this past Wednesday, but one before that, with strings only. And then the entire orchestra got together on Monday and Wednesday and Saturday, and then a rehearsal this morning before the concert. So that's the span of time.
Yeah, and the other thing is that we only have one rehearsal here in the morning, and that's where everything, we see like everything, all the work that we had in the laboratory now is like, it's in the wild, you know, and then is when you see the orchestra booming and going, it's a very special hall, that's for sure. It's an honor to be here.
There's time for one last quick question. If you have one. Okay, I'll ask. When are you coming back?
Whenever you have me, I'm just very, very, very happy and very grateful to be here.
We are already talking about that. We are already programming another pieces.
Excellent. That's for sure. Thank you so very much, everybody. Thank you, Alex. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for staying. This is the largest crowd yet for this post-concert Q&A. So please join us in the black box if you would like to meet some of our musicians, and make your way over to me if you would like to get some recommendations on some musicians who are up for adoption. Thank you, and we'll see you on March 17th for our next concert.
Thank you. Goodbye.